This is a 30-day challenge for me and you to go sober for the month of October. We're going to answer this call to action by activating something called monk mode, and by the end of this month, you'll be a new man. My name is David, and I help men like you on their self-development journey with practical tips and tools for the minimalist lifestyle while keeping it real. I started drinking alcohol when I was 20, so I've been an alcoholic for about 22 years. I've also been addicted to smoking tobacco, eating sugar, and drinking coffee for a really long time. That's pretty normal in modern society, and it could be a lot worse, but it's bad enough for me, and I'm ready for change. And so if you are too, let's go. Have you recently faced some kind of health concern in your life? For me, it's been my body. I've gained a lot of weight, about 20 pounds too much. How about your relationships? Have they been suffering? I know alcohol and addiction has affected my relationships. It's made me more selfish, less able to empathize, and very disinterested in socializing. How about with your job? Or are you down on life? Do you feel stuck? Drinking definitely took away time for me to look for clients and really zapped my energy to create content. Well, these situations are wake-up calls. They're signals to us that things really need to change. You might fear judgment, failure, or even success, and it's okay to second-guess yourself, but don't let fear hold you back. We don't have to do this alone. We can call in the support that we need. I think it's important to share your decision to do monk mode for Sober October, and I encourage you to share your journey with them. Tell them that you're serious about committing to a period of purity and focus. How about your inner circle? Do you have a friend in your life that you could enlist as some kind of sponsor? You want to make sure that this person is sane and reliable, or maybe you might be more inclined to look online for some kind of support group. During this time, I think it's important to read. So do you have some books on your reading list that you've been meaning to get around to? Here's some books that I've read that have made a big difference in my life, and I think they will for you too, especially during this 30-day period. The Key to Living the Law of Attraction, 12 Rules for Life, Atomic Habits, High Performance Habits, any book by Steven Pressfield like The War of Art or Turning Pro, The 30-Day Sobriety Solution, Essentialism, Extreme Ownership, or anything by Tony Robbins. So if you're ready to commit to monk mode for Sober October, you get to make that decision right now. This is the first step, and it's actually the hardest part. The first thing you're going to want to do before anything else is to stack the odds in your favor and get rid of any of the vices in your house that are going to tempt you. Then just don't let any more of them in your home or even around it. And then you're going to give yourself some space and time to write things out and make a plan, because remember, where your attention goes, energy flows. And this is where you're really going to get into some more details about what your desires are. You're going to want to get out your to-do list, your notes app, and your calendar app. Personally, I like to use Things 3 and Fantastical, but more on them later. So what is monk mode exactly? Well, it's a state of extreme focus and self-discipline with the chief aim of achieving self-development and specific goals. It comes from the disciplined lifestyle of monks who dedicate themselves to their spiritual practices with minimal distractions. In the context of modern self-development culture, entering monk mode involves minimizing distractions, simplifying your life, and focusing intently on personal development tasks. You might engage in monk mode to concentrate on work, study, your fitness routine, or any other endeavor that requires intense focus. And I'm here to help you in all of that. So let's go a little bit deeper now into how you can activate monk mode for Sober October. So you're going to be challenged in these 30 days, and you need to be prepared. For example, if you want to lose weight, I recommend that you weigh yourself now so you can compare yourself at the end. It's going to give you some motivation and a solid reason why for when the going gets tough. When you find yourself in familiar situations, that can be a dangerous time because you are going to be tempted. And sometimes the people around us, they're negative and they just want to commiserate. there's a thing about human nature where we tend to fall to the lowest common denominator. That's why it's so important to be careful with the people we're spending time with because they really affect our own behavior. So you're going to have to learn how to set healthy boundaries and say no. And if somebody doesn't like that, they don't just outright support you in your journey, then they don't deserve a place or a space in your inner circle. Self-respect starts inside of us, and we can train other people around us to model that behavior. Then once you have your external life in order, now it's time to turn inward. I find that it helps to reverse engineer projects, so start with the end in mind. That helps turn them into practical systems that you can apply today. For example, how do you want your life to look like at the end of this month or even this year? If you're focused on your fitness, then think of all the weight that you could lose. If it's a financial situation, think of the money you could save. Or when it comes to time, think of the career that you could be building. So reverse engineer that. What is it that we need to do today in order to get there tomorrow? Use your imagination and have fun. There's really no limit to lifestyle design, but do try to keep it simple. I recommend only starting with about 3 things, then you identify what's essential and ignore all the rest. For me on this journey, it's my son Miles, it's this YouTube channel, earning more income, and getting my health back into shape, and that's it. So for me, it feels really good. It's easy, simple. I know what I need to focus on every day. Nothing gets in the way. I don't even have an inch of room for vices. So here's some tips for you moving forward with your Sober October monk mode in case you don't watch my upcoming live stream updates. I've been tracking my time a lot recently, every minute, and I use an app called Timery and Toggle. They'll help keep you on track and hold you accountable to every second of this month. And if you're doing it and you're honest with yourself, you don't want to be entering into it, wasting time on addictions. You want to be on point. Earlier I mentioned Things, which is an Apple-only app that is minimal, effective, and with a really nice design. You can use it for tracking your ideas and turning them into projects that are actionable. From there, you can move them into areas for ultimate organization. Fantastical has been my go-to app for a calendar, and you can find it on the Mac Store, iPhone, and even for the watch. And this is where your projects and things or whatever to-do list you're using can really come to life because once you put it on your calendar, it's more likely to be real. Habit tracking apps can be really useful, and I've chosen to just use fitness because it's really simple, it's already built in, and I'm really only interested in tracking my movement. I'm not interested in tracking all the other kinds of habits that I could be. Maybe you are. There's some other apps that I've found to be really good for habit tracking, and those are ones like Done, Streaks, and Productive. I've also played around with using an app called I Am Sober, and you may like that one too if you're trying to focus on your sobriety for these 30 days. It's a really good app with the community and a good user interface. It'll help keep you on track with your sobriety. But with all of this, remember that self-development is a way of life and it takes practice. You are going to encounter situations that will test your resolve. Remember in those times that you are not invincible. Addiction is a powerful thing and it can always bury us if we don't keep our guard up. Some people, sometimes your friends, are going to be inviting you out to places where your vices are also going to be at the same time. And remember, it is possible for you to abstain in those situations, or you do always have the power within yourself just to outright decline the invitation, saying no, thank you. By this time, your priorities are crystal clear and you communicate your boundaries. You can actually lead by a positive example and influence them to make a change in their own life when they're ready. You kicked fear in the face and you transcended short-term gratification, and that alone is a big accomplishment. Hey, I want to make your life easier, so I took all the points in this video and summarized them neatly into a listicle how-to guide for activating monk mode for Sober October, or for any month for that matter. You can find it through the link in the description. It'll take you to my website where you can just download it and put it to use. Check it out. I hope you find it helpful. Go ahead and get some. It's important to identify what's essential and to create a system for staying on the path. Monk mode is a strategy that you can activate to help expedite the process. So whether you choose to stay sober only for October or longer, sobriety is a choice. It's your choice, so don't give a f*** what anyone else thinks, good or bad. This is your life to live and yours alone, and no one else is going to care as much as you do. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of my upcoming Monk Mode live streams. In those, you're going to see how my Sober October is going, and I want to hear about how yours is going too. And check out this playlist here if you want to learn more about my favorite fitness routines for a healthy lifestyle.